Women in their 50s put on an average of 1.5 pounds per year in weight and have a higher rate of obesity than their younger counterparts. So why is that? Hello fam, and welcome to my channel. My name's Melissa Neal, and this channel is all about helping you if you're a woman over 40 or like me over 50 get in fantastic shape. And in this video we're talking about women in their 50s. I'm 56, so I'm in this category, and why it is we are the biggest, the fattest, the heaviest that we've ever been, unless we really try hard like I have not to be like that. And I know I talk to a ton of women over 50 who tell me they are the heaviest that they've ever been in their entire life, even if they're doing the exact same things that they were doing when they were younger. And I'm willing to bet if you're a woman over 50 and you haven't taken drastic action about this, you are going to fall into that category of somebody that's gained weight over the years. And there are huge problems with that weight gain in your 50s. So it can cause low self-esteem. I chat to so many women who tell me they've lost their confidence as a result of this weight gain, and that's exactly what happened to me, although my weight gain was actually in my 40s. You can find it really difficult doing the regular things like going on vacation and wearing the clothes you want and feeling comfortable in swimwear. Oftentimes you don't like looking at yourself in photographs, and you can feel really awkward on social occasions. And I know many women tell me they avoid things like vacations and social occasions because of increasing body weight. It's also difficult to date, isn't it, when you don't feel good about yourself? I became single in my 40s, and until I got on top of my body shape, I wasn't comfortable really going on dates with people. And oftentimes women at this stage in life can find that they've had relationship breakdown or divorce, so they are in the market to find someone new, but because of this weight gain, they don't feel confident being on the dating scene. And of course, the biggest problem are health concerns. So there are diseases like type 2 diabetes, heart disease, sleep apnea, and a loss of mobility. And did you know that this time in life is the prime time when you're going to have dissatisfaction with your body? And the reason is not just to do with your body size, it's actually you're seeing a physical aging process, which I know I'm going through myself. And so you've got that double whammy of gaining weight, but also your physical appearance, so things like lines and wrinkles and generally an aging face and aging body is starting to happen, isn't it? So why is this happening? It seems so unfair, doesn't it? And nobody told me until I went through these changes with my own body. Nobody told me this was going to happen, and nobody told me the reasons why. So what's happened is your hormones like estrogen and progesterone and testosterone, they're actually depleting. Estrogen in particular, if that's depleting, what's going to happen is it's going to cause your body to store more fat, and that typically sits around your midsection. So that term, middle-aged belly fat, there's actually a biological reason this is happening. And at the same time, you might have noticed you're actually losing muscle mass, unless you do something about it like I've done, where I'm kind of gaining muscle mass. Your body is naturally losing muscle mass at a rate of 1% per year over the age of 40. So if you kind of add that up over a 10-year period, you're going to have lost 10% of your muscle mass, which is quite significant, because what happens when you lose muscle mass is that impacts on your metabolic health. In other words, your body's ability to burn fat. However, at the same time, what you're probably doing is eating the same amount of food that you did say in your 30s, and you can't eat the same amount of food. You actually have to eat less food because your metabolism is waning. Now, that doesn't mean that you go on extreme diets, but you probably can't eat the same kind of portions that you did in your younger days. And another health problem is that your immune system is gonna be less effective when you're in your 50s, especially if you've gained weight. I want to talk about scale weight, because scale weight is actually not the whole picture and not the best way of measuring whether you actually are carrying too much body fat and or you are unhealthy. So I'm going to take you through some of the measurements. Now, what happens when you visit a doctor and sometimes some health organisations, they will do something called body mass index. That's a bit like scale weight. It probably doesn't give you a really accurate picture of whether you're carrying excess body fat because it doesn't, for example, take into account lean muscle mass. It was designed for white Caucasian people, and that kind of measurement does not necessarily translate into other cultures. So how can we measure ourselves? Well, a really good measurement is your waist to height ratio, and that's where you take your waist measurement and you divide it by your height measurement. What you should find is your waist should be half, 50% or less of your height measurement. And so if it falls into that category, you're classed as being healthy. And there are other markers of health, so I'm going to go through them. The first thing is, can you sit down and get up without using your hands or your elbows? And it's even better if you don't use your knees. So that's sitting right down on the floor and getting up again. The other one is, can you do an Asian squat? And finally, can you stand on one leg for 10 seconds or more? You also, through your doctor, need to be checking your cholesterol levels, your blood sugar or your blood glucose levels, and you need to be checking your blood pressure. So if you have passed all those health markers, you can put yourself into the healthy category regardless of your scale weight. In this video, I've broken down how and why we actually get fat, and I've also given you some information on how you can use those health markers to check whether you are in a healthy range. And in my next video, which is part of my Fabulous at 50 video series, I'm actually going to talk about what you can do about it, what you can do to get rid of body fat if you are over the age of 50 and female.